Hi, welcome back to the 6 mistakes that rookie leaders make. So today we're going to finish up with the last 2. So if you haven't watched the previous videos addressing the first 4 mistakes, please go back and check out some of my posts. There are 2 different videos addressing those 4 mistakes, and you can catch up on some of the tactics and tips that will help you not to fall into some of these pitfalls. So just as a reminder what those are, number 1 is rookie leaders tend to feel like they have all the answers. Number 2 is that they are too hands off. Number 3 is that they can be too hands on. And number 4 is that they can micromanage every detail. So if any of those resonate with you and you haven't had a chance to check out the previous videos, please go back. Or maybe you know somebody who you'd like to share those with. And I will say that even as an experienced leader, sometimes I can fall into some of those traps as well. Okay, so number 5 of the 6 mistakes that rookie leaders make is that they create distance. So what am I saying about that? Well, what I'm saying is that they intentionally create distance between themselves and their staff. And the way that we see that is that some leaders will take the saying it's lonely at the top as a leadership strategy instead of just a saying that explains what it feels like to be a leader. They can actually take on kind of that martyr syndrome, or maybe even a victim of the fact they have all these new responsibilities and they have all this stuff to do. And it feels a little awkward when when you work for somebody like that, because you can't relate necessarily to the things they're going through. And if they're feeling burdened by the responsibilities that they've taken on and manipulating their staff with those burdens, then it creates this distance, whether the leader has intended for that to happen or not. It's actually quite a common mistake, but I really would like to challenge you all to be looking for that in your own leadership. If you feel like that's something that you have fallen into, man, I have tools that I can help you get through that. It's not, you can absolutely overcome it. You can enjoy your job. You don't have to be that martyr. You can celebrate being the leader and show them that it's really actually kind of fun and you can be a good team. I have a different role than you do. We don't have to have the distance, and it can be a win-win. And then number 6, and I think we have all seen this particular mistake made, where managers try to be best friends with everybody instead of the leader. This can be really dangerous, right? We've all worked in places where we have seen the manager who just wants to be everybody's friend and is not necessarily an effective leader because of it. In fact, probably we've seen people who have been favorites of the leaders and they don't get held to the same standards as the rest of us. Well, for those of us who are not favorites, it feels pretty crummy and it's not fair, and it creates division amongst your team. Plus, it's really a no-win for the leader, because oftentimes those same individuals they feel like are their friends will take advantage of them. They test them because they know that they're not going to be held to the same standard as somebody else, and it puts the leader in a terrible position. So it's okay to be friendly. You need to be a friendly leader, and clearly don't be a jerk. Nobody wants to work for a jerk. But there's a difference between being friendly and crossing boundaries where we're not holding each of our employees at the same level of accountability because they're our friends. Oftentimes we fall into this because we would rather be liked than to be effective. And what I would promise you is that if you step up and you have those boundaries with your staff, that you will be effective and you will be respected and you will be liked because you're effective and respected. So it's actually a trifecta, right? You get all of the things that you're looking for. Whereas if you are easily manipulated by the staff that are your friends, you are liked because you're a pushover. And I think I would rather be liked because I was respected and effective. So I bet that's the same for you. All right, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed these 6 tips that are 6 mistakes that rookie leaders make, and hopefully some tips that have been provided along the way. I really would love for you to go to my website, www.newlevelleader.com, and subscribe to my blog, where I can provide you with more tips and tactics on how to be the best leader that you can possibly be. And if you feel like there's something I can help you with, let's schedule a strategy session and we can absolutely go through some of the things that you're challenged with as a leader. Okay guys, thanks again. I appreciate you joining me for this 6 mistakes that rookie leaders make, and I hope that you guys don't make those same mistakes in your leadership. Take care, and we'll see you later.